is up, man? You already know who the fuck I am, man. It's windy as a motherfucker outside, fucking with a nigga's allergies and shit. But anyway, man, what is going on? You already said, you already know what the fuck it is. Hey, Eric, I see you. I'll be getting those messages 10 days later. But don't trip, I get them. Shout out to Shani. Shout out to everybody out there. Tasha, I saw your message. I don't know when you left it. You probably left it like 2 days ago. I don't know. This motherfucking YouTube be straight bullshitting. But man, anyway, man, what is going on? What is going on, man? Another beautiful day. Another 10 cent. You know, another 10 cent for us, another $350 for them. Matter of fact, more for them. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation, man. We gonna get into it, man, because man, I got shit to do. Shit I gotta go do. Make sure I got all kinds of other shit going on. But anyway, man, if you're at the Court Plantation and you telling on somebody, god damn, man, I can't fuck with you. But anyway, shout out to everybody at the Court Plantation just going to work and doing their job. I salute you, man. I think it's very, very respectable for a person to just go to work and do their job and go to fuck home. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that the hard way. So that's why you always hear me bring up the Court Plantation. Because a lot of the times, and not the hard way like it was bad, you just have to step back and be like, why the fuck am I sitting up here talking to these people, man? These people ain't my friends. And that's how you got to do it. It's always business. It's never personal. Shout out to everybody that treats their life like a business, treats themselves like a business, and don't allow people to dump their negative energy onto them. So shout out to all y'all that do that shit. I don't do that shit no more, man. Motherfucker call, look, let me tell you something. You better call with a purpose when you call me. Because get to the point. What you need, man? what you got going on, man? Because I am not your confidant. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I didn't go to school for none of that. I went to the school of hard knocks, nigga. So I don't have time to be sitting up here. Hello? Yeah, man, what's going on, man? Shit, man, just struggling. And I don't want to hear none of that shit. I got too much other shit going on. So shout out to everybody out there, man, that's handling business and doing what the fuck they need to do. Again, man, shout out to No Compromise. That's my nigga, man. His podcast be good. I be wanting to jump through the screen, man, because they be saying some real shit. Real shit on that podcast, man. Shawnee, go check that shit out. Erica, go check it out. It's called No Compromise. I like that podcast, man, because I'm like, man, this is the type of shit that really needs to be on like TV or on satellite. You know what I'm saying? Something that's good, man, because it's not fake and phony, and it's something that's educational for all ages. Me, my podcast, this is therapy to me. They wouldn't put me on TV. Them niggas be like, cut. He said something about the white people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Erica, man, what's happening, man? So I couldn't be on there, but I like his podcast because it's very insightful. It's very informational about, you know, what you need to navigate. The reason why you always hear me talking about it because he says something that I feel like everybody needs to hear. When he was like, look, don't be arguing with the police and acting the damn fool. Okay, yeah, I cuss all day. Don't be acting a fool with the police. Don't be trying to argue with them and talking about your rights and all this other stuff. No, don't do none of that. That sucker shit. Fight the battle in court. Brilliant. So it's brilliant. So that's why I like his podcast, man. Hey, Erica, man, you already know what it is. You already know. Look, I keep it a buck, man. You know what I'm saying? I could probably do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's good, man? Hey, I was just talking about your shit. Hey, Erica, man, you need to go check it out. But I could probably do a podcast without cussing, but golly, man, you know what? It'll probably be easier for me if I did if I was interviewing somebody. Like I interviewed the homegirl from Mix of Health. I didn't cuss the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what type of audience she has or whatever. I got to get with that sister so I can yeah, I did, man. But look what I did. I did the interview on a clown ass iPhone. You know I got all these goddamn phones and shit, but I didn't. When I did the you know how you record your screen, I didn't hit the mic. So it's just you just see our mouths moving, but you don't see nothing going on. So that was on me, man. My bad. But I've been linking up with the sister. I'm trying to get on here, and I'm gonna put it out here. I'm trying to get the queen mother of the Matrix, Sophia Stewart. So I'm going to email her. I'm going to harass her to death, man. I just got to take the time to send her a really good email because I want to. She don't need to come to this raggedy ass shit. I'll go to her. We can go. I'll do it at a Starbucks or whatever. I just really want to get her on my show, man, because I really feel like people need to understand who the person behind the Matrix is. And it's not the Wachowski brothers. It's Sophia Stewart. So, but yeah, man, shout out to No Compromise, man. Y'all need to go check him out, man. Like, I really, like, I like a lot of podcasts, but I like his podcast because he's coming from a different perspective. And what I like about it is, what really fucked with me is when he had those sisters with the black businesses, that fucked with me. Because they was saying some real shit. And they was really being nice. They was really, I wish I could get them on my show so they can say how they really feel. They said how they felt on his show, but I felt like they was being nice a little bit, man, because those were astute sisters, very educated sisters that wasn't really trying to go down that lane. But you know, you come fuck with me, I'm gonna pull it out of you. I'm gonna be like, so you was dealing with some bullshit ass niggas. No, I'm fucking with you. But man, we about to get into it, man. We about to talk about the Chicago shit, man. Let me cut this clown ass shit down, man. And I see they trying to, y'all see they trying to cripple the baby. They're trying to strangle him to the point of no return financially. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to always keep touching on that because I'm going to be a reminder. Yeah, they was definitely holding it back. And you know what? It's no diss because there's a time and a place. And bro, your podcast, man, like, your podcast is such an astute type of podcast. Like, I wouldn't even be on there. Like, before I speak, if I ever did No Compromise podcast, Erica, I'll be like, the responses and language of this person does not reflect the No Compromise podcast. I'd have to get a disclaimer because it's such a good podcast and I like it a lot because it's speaking about real stuff. I'm telling you, Erica, my nigga Shawnee, go watch this shit. This nigga had these lovely sisters on there. One of the sisters is who made me, these cups. That's why I always have them up here, man. These are my NFTs, man. Because a black person made it, so I value it. That's why you see you got it out. We always we tend to value. Nah, man, I would have to really clean up my stuff, man, because I wouldn't go on there acting no fool like that on your podcast, bro. I don't do shit like that. That's your space. But Erica, check it out though, on some real facts. Why is it we value everything that's European, or not just that, just everything that's not us, and then the stuff that's us, we treat it like it ain't shit. That's why y'all notice I always had these glasses out because, no, I'm not going to get them to drink. I got them because a black sister made this shit, man. We got to start taking pride in what our people do for us. Like they did in the Tulsa, Oklahoma days, like they did in the antebellum period, like they did with Big Ben, Benjamin Banneker, all the Moors and all the things that we were inventing, and we took pride in that shit. Now it's like a motherfucker got to invent air for you to be like, oh, a black person did that. I bet you if it was a white motherfucker who made these motherfucking glasses, motherfuckers would be, I bet you I have 1,000 followers on here. Oh my God, what's that guy's name? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to stop being like that, man. Because while we being like that, these motherfucking police out here going in people's houses, raiding they shit, talking about, oh, well, my bad. Nigga, you don't know which house. Which makes me kind of like, it gives me anxiety for my people and for me. It makes it kind of hard to sleep a lot of the times because I remember it was another sister they just kicked in her door. And I'm like, man, I don't like that shit, man, because that's anxiety. Hell no, come as you are. When I get on yours, I'm going on. Oh, yeah, I got to get you on here. You got to show me. Look, y'all got to show me how y'all do that shit, man. Because, look, like I told y'all, I won't guess on, man. I won't guess. Like Nuke is super busy. But I got to figure out how that Zoom shit work and how I can make that shit go live with Zoom and I can just have Nuke patch in. And for you No Compromise. Nuke, that's my homegirl. That's like my sister. You know what I'm saying? Me and her, we worked at the Court Plantation forever. And she's the one who started the podcast with me. But man, so much shit been going on. COVID and work and all this other shit that we couldn't get the times together because I was getting off late. And then she'd be waiting on me. And I hated that. I hate when people wait on me. So we couldn't get it together, but if I can get it where, hey man, I'm still learning. I'm like Nearly Fuller Jr. I'm still learning. So if I can get it where a motherfucker can show me how to do that Zoom shit, Nigga, I'll be having podcasts all the time. I just don't have them all the time because it's just me talking. So I be like, man, I'm not trying to be on this motherfucker every day talking. So that's why I do it. But my nigga, you probably gonna have to show me how to do that shit because that shit look dope what you be doing. This nigga no compromise. I'm like, God damn, this nigga had to split screen. Then he know how to patch into the next person. I'm like, man, what the fuck? How's he doing that shit? So, man, you want to show me because I definitely got to have you on here, man. And it ain't going to be no intro or nothing. I'm just going to patch you in. I had the homeboy. Shout out to the homeboy, Nick. That's my homeboy, man. And he be into the reading and studying and doing his thing. He working and shit, man. I told him, we had this conversation before we started the podcast. I said, look, bro, I don't expect you, you know what I mean, to, in my personal opinion, I told him, I said, I don't expect you to do this podcast all the time. And he was just like, what you mean? I was just like, because, man, I know you busy and I know you got shit going on. And he was just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, man, I know you got shit going on. So, man, if you can, you can. If you can, you can. You know, I don't bug people because people got their own lives and their own path and their own lane. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to get people into a position where they feel like they have to do it because they fuck with me. Nah, man. Like, look, if you don't want to do it and you got shit going on, I understand that. And I'm not saying that Nuke or Nick had that situation. I'm just saying, man, people got lives and they got shit going on, man. But, man, I really think we got to start sticking together, too, and establishing a code. That's why y'all, like I said, I always had the glass up there. I always got the toilet tissue. Like I said, niggas be talking all that shit, but, nigga, I really be about the shit. That's why I tell motherfuckers, stop worrying about what motherfucker doing that you can't see. Worry about what they doing that you can see. Remember that. Because you ain't going to be able to watch no motherfucker 24 hours a day. Then you ain't doing your job. But if you are, in my personal opinion, watching what you can see, nigga, I'll show y'all the receipts, nigga. This what the fuck, nigga, I'm doing, nigga. Yeah, nigga, that's Freedom Paper Company, NOI, nigga, toilet tissue. I still got some of that shit. Fuck y'all niggas talking about. Nigga, I got this. I got Tahuti my Ara herbs. Nigga, I got X-Wolf. I went and bought some Cookie Confidant cookies. I put them on my podcast a couple months ago. Showed the big ass cookies that I got from them. I stay supporting black business. I got my sister right here. As soon as I watch the No Compromise podcast, you know what I'm saying? Once I got off there, I hit that sister up. I hit the other sister up too. I gotta get back with that sister, man, because I know she be making like cakes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you probably can't see it all that great because it's in green. And I like my shit black and white. But I'm just saying, man. You gotta be about it. You gotta stop talking about it, man, because I feel like a lot of people, it's like they only want you to see certain things. That's why you don't see me getting up and dressed up and haircut. No, man, this is me right here. This is me. Why we always gotta be all looking a certain way and then, like I said, you go to the court plantation, motherfucker, your boss in there doing black tar heroin and sweating like a fucking pedophile at a kindergarten graduation, and everybody act like they don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like we put so much pressure. Look at the pressure that they put on all the black athletes in the Olympics. That's a lot of pressure. You treating us fucked up, but then you want us to go over there and represent you. It's just like right now. So you want me to represent you to the fullest, but the Chicago Police Department, along with a lot of other race soldiers, they just kicking in doors and just look what they did to Breonna Taylor. Just kicking in motherfuckers' doors. Oh, my bad. What the fuck you mean your bad? That's because this has been going on for so long, it's normalized. We gotta understand that shit is normal to them. That's why, motherfucking, what did Brett Favre say about George Floyd? Oh, I don't really think the officer meant to kill him. Well, nigga, of course, because you're not black and you don't even know what it is to be black. That's why stop explaining that shit to them. Stop thinking because you work with these people are your friends. I don't care who they are. I don't even care if they are melanated. Because 9 times out of 10, if they smiling too much with everybody else, but they don't really have shit to say to you until they get into a bind, that's a Sambo, Mammy, coon, telling about the gun line, Hayward Shepherd motherfucker. I done worked with plenty of them motherfuckers. For real. Have I done some sucker shit? Hell yeah. Have I been emotional at the court plantation? Yeah, because that's all you know when that's all you've been taught. Go to school and get you a good job. Even if you don't go to school, go get you a good job and work that job till you can't work it no more. And then when you're done working the job, oh, now you hooked on all these pain pills and shit. You can't do shit. You know, what kind of life is that? So it's like, man, when you taught a certain thing, you have to undo that programming. That's what I learned. That's what I started learning about, like reading and shit. Like reading, like I said, first book I read was The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. That book was fucking raw. It took me a long time to read that book because I really couldn't believe it. Seriously, I just couldn't believe it. And I was going to looking up the same resources that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, all the Nation of Islam that they put together, that research department. I'm like, let me go look to see what the fuck is going on. Because damn, I know this ain't true. Then I'm looking at the resource. I'm like, oh shit, this white Jewish man did write this book. He did say this. He did say that. It's like, damn, what the fuck is going on? Then after I read that book, then I think I read the ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I talked about it before. That book really fucked me up because she goes into a subconscious level about, you know, racism, white supremacy, how they dominate 9 areas of people activity. And then after you read that book, read Black Labor, White Wealth, now you mad. After I read that book, now I was pissed. I'm mad. Now I'm literally force feeding it down every black person that I know. Read Black Labor, White Wealth. Read Black Labor, White Wealth. To the point where I would be so mad when people wouldn't read it. But, you know, now as you get, you know, you mature and you get a couple of books under your belt, you don't really be tripping about that shit, man. I think by the time I read Black History Reader, by the time I read that book, I was kind of mellow. Then I read a couple of other books in between, and it kind of helped me out a lot, you know, to kind of mellow me out where I wasn't so mad. But if you read too much, you will have an overload. I'm talking about at one time, and you don't kind of like step back and, you know, look at things. That's why a lot of times people know, nigga, I'll get in my whip, start the shit, drive around. A lot of times I drive around, and I got to start doing this with my phone. I got to get my gimbal shit too, because I'm about to start capturing like neighborhoods and capturing how many businesses are in Las Vegas, Nevada that are not foundational Black American, or not Black period. You know, because a lot of the people that are not foundationally from America, you know, they don't really consider themselves Black. They consider themselves, you know, Nigerian or Cameroon or something like that, and that's fine. But keep that same energy when the dominant white society starts going oops upside that motherfucking head. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the most important thing that we got to do. We got to value each other, man. Because while we not doing that, these race soldiers is doing some shiesty shit. I'm about to play a little bit of the news and see what they talking about with this raid. I just want y'all to hear this shit, man. Because the news always crack me up anyway, man. Because they be lying like a motherfucker. But I want y'all to hear this, man. Listen to this.
Officers broke down their door, directing firearms at 2 small children. They're now suing the department. We do want to warn you that some of this footage is difficult to watch, but let's bring in our Alex Perez in Chicago with the story. Good morning to you, Alex.
Hey, good morning, TJ. 2 years later, the family says they are still traumatized and they believe the police department should be held responsible for their mistake.
This morning, a family in Chicago is suing the city over this mistaken police raid.
How's it mistaken? How is that mistaken?
Terrifying.
It's 2021. Even in 2019, technology has quadrupled. How is it mistaken? How?
Moments back in 2019 caught on officers' body cam video released by the family attorney. The police burst into the apartment of Steve Winters and Regina Evans, guns drawn. According to the lawsuit, police told the family they were responding to calls about suspects nearby who were possibly armed and fled.
Man, get the fuck out of here. Oh, they just happened to be in that apartment?
To their building, but those suspects were not in the apartment.
We just started hearing loud bangs. And then my husband got up and went to the door and was like, what's going on? Who is it? He never understood who was at the door, and our door got kicked in by the police. And then they threw my husband to the ground, put a gun in the back of his head.
Officers can be seen searching room by room and pointing their guns in the direction of Evan's father, who's in bed, and in the direction of the family's 2 young daughters, 5 and 9 years old, who according...
Now, what the fuck is that all about? What's for some weed or something? Man, stop. Just anything to just kick in a nigga's door and just let them know, well, nigga, we'll fuck with you. See, motherfuckers be hiring these fucking token black Negro mayors, but they don't give a fuck. That motherfucking Beetlejuice-looking bitch, that's the mayor of Chicago, somebody should slap that bitch on the back of her bald head.
To the lawsuit, were sleeping. A frustrated and horrified Evans calling 911 as the cops went through her home.
They just busted my door, put guns in my face.
The family says they're all still traumatized.
Exactly. Now, what kind of shit is that?
Rishyla is still having nightmares, still can't sleep. She's screaming in her sleep.
In the videos, you can hear officers at one point apologize and offer to repair the damage.
I just want to see what's damaged so I could document it, okay? Give me a permission.
Man, get the fuck out of here so you can document it. Man, what kind of shit is that? This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. So while we warn with each other and fight and arguing with each other, this is what the dominant society is doing. The same thing happened to me when I lived in NYC. Wait, hey man, you gotta tell me that shit. You definitely gotta tell me that. I didn't know that shit happened to you. Oh, we definitely gotta talk now, my nigga.
Chicago police, in a statement before the lawsuit was filed, saying the department is committed to treating all individuals with dignity and respect. This incident occurred 3 months prior to the implementation of the department's firearm pointing incidents directive.
And because of the pending lawsuit, the Chicago Police Department declined to further comment on this story. A recent Inspector General story found that the report found that the number of police raids here in the city is actually down the last few years. TJ?
All right, Alex, thank you so much.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Motherfucker said, oh, I just want to document it so we can help you. Man, get the fuck out of here. Nigga, how you gonna help me? You done kicked in my door, nigga. Looking for somebody. Whatever happened to just knocking? Hey, such and such here? Because we got a call that such and such is here. These motherfuckers didn't even treat Bin Laden's family like that. But they treat but you want us to go represent y'all company, y'all country? Man, get the fuck, I mean, our country, my bad. We built the country. They didn't. All they did was just sit up there and make us slaves. Go read Medical Apartheid. Go read Slavery by Another Name. Go read Before the Mayflower. Read all these fucking books. If you read The World's Great Men of Color by J.A. Rogers, all it is in damn near every chapter is how brilliant black people were and how devilish and satanic white folk were at trying to corrupt them and get them to do things that would not be beneficial and advantageous to black folk. Through the whole fucking book. For starters, and this is the book right here, J.A. Rogers. Y'all need to go fuck with this shit, man. Go fuck with this shit. No bullshit. Okay, this is about the third book I done read about Queen Nzinga, because they talk about her in Before the Mayflower too. And I forgot what other book they talk about. They talk about her in Destruction of a Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. So they talk about, that's like the third book I done read about Queen Nzinga before I even read the book. But in that book, it details how Queen Nzinga, right? Her brother was really the king, but he was more of a smiley political type person. She was not. Those Europeans did not like her because she wouldn't smile with them. So what they did was they had her brother assassinated, or the brother died. That's what has been told. Queen Nzinga's brother passed away, died. But they put it out there that she had him killed so she could be the queen. She had to leave her own country, leave her own people, because that's how good propaganda was back then. This is hundreds of years ago, back then. So she flees the country, whatever, but people still fucked with her because they knew deep down inside she wouldn't do that to her brother. She wouldn't do that. So then they get back with her. She underground, basically on the underground, she kind of rallies the troops like, look, man, these motherfuckers do not give a fuck about us and they trying to take over our shit. Yeah, mysteriously he died. Thank you. I love it when somebody read the book. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, quote me when I'm wrong. I don't never be right. Shawnee be quoting me all the time. She be having to help me all the time. Like, I couldn't remember the brother's name from Medical Apartheid, and it was James Sims. Or either James Sims or John Sims. One of them motherfuckers, that one his name. And he was the motherfucker for the first fistula, and he was operating on women, not giving them no type of anesthesia or nothing, because he felt like black women couldn't feel pain. Facts. Shawnee can vet me out on that. But in this book, mysteriously he died. They put out the propaganda that she had him killed. She had to flee the country. She rallied the troops. She come back. She take over. So, a lot of the Europeans, they were not feeling that at all. To the point where they was trying to kill this bitch, because they was not like, fuck this black bitch. We basically got to kill this nigga bitch. but they couldn't get it because she had the will of the people. Same people who have her brother killed at the same people who had her son killed. Facts. Queen Nzinga was so dope, and they loved her so much. She has so much influence over her people because she was for her people. When she went to go meet with the Europeans, they all sitting down, but they didn't want to give her a chair because they felt like, well, bitch, you in royalty, you supposed to stand. So she knew they wasn't going to give her a chair. So you know what they did? Her black soldiers, they got on all fours and she sat on them, and that fucked those white men up. That really fucked them up because they saw she has the will of the people. Once you had the will of the people, you really become a threat. And that's exactly what they didn't like. They did not like that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show when you have the will of the people and we're all on the same page and we're united. That's what J. Edgar Hoover talked about. Isn't that what he talked about in COINTELPRO? The biggest threat to white people or to society is black unity. That's why he was going amongst black people and sowing discord. So while you watching these people do that shit, you know, stop fighting with your brother and sister. If they don't fuck that, okay. Look, everybody not meant to get along. It's about having a code. It's not me. You ain't got to be best friends with every black person, but it's about having a code. I know a lot of people don't agree. I probably know 99% of the people that I used to deal with or whatever, especially in my family when they come to that religious shit. They hate that shit. They don't want to hear me speak about that because they'd be mad at me. You know what I mean? But that's just how I feel about it. I feel like religion is a lot. You're black before you're a religion, and all religions come from Africans. They come from black people. Go get this book. Ain't No Compromise. Have you read this book right here, man? Have you read this book right here? The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Go read this book in here. He talks about it. All religions come from Africa. And when I mean Africa, I mean black people. He put it in bold letters. That's a white man. You know, when you say it's a white man wrote, them motherfuckers like, damn, a white man wrote that, so it must be true. Man, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, man, Jordan Maxwell, he was breaking that shit down about that religious shit and how it all comes from the Moors and come from black people. That's why they try to separate Egypt. Look, there's this show on Hulu. God, what is it called? It's with these dudes. It's a family. He's like a comedian. I forgot his name. And I think he's Egyptian. And it's about Egyptians that live in New York, you know, but they're Muslim, but they're Egyptians, you know, and they talk a lot of shit about Jewish people or whatever, but they're Egyptians or whatever. Well, he goes back to Egypt to visit his family. When he goes back to Egypt, one of his cousins was like, hey, what's up, my nigga? What's going on? The dude tells him, he said, it's called Remy, I think, or some shit like that. He tells him, hey, man, you need to really chill it with the N-word. He said, man, nigga, what? He said, bro, Egypt is in Africa. We are black too, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Bro, you really need to like chill with the N-word. He's like, bro, you've been in the United States because that's how they smart. Let's just divide. We've already Arabanized Egypt anyway, Eurasianized it. If you read The Destruction of a Black Civilization, Chancellor, go read that book. It's by Jordan Maxwell. And let me tell you a little bit about it. Jordan Maxwell's uncles and dads, and they were really high judges and lawyers, and I think his uncle was like really high in the Vatican. So they would have conversations and he would be around listening, and they would talk about Freemasonry and where religion comes from and how there's certain coding. Shawnee knows this. There's certain codings when you go into a court. When you go to a court of law, like there's certain flags that have to be. I read another book about it. It's called Title 4 or some shit. And it's about basically being unplugged from the system. And those flags that are in the courtroom, those are official United States of America Incorporated flags, because the law of the land is an offshoot of Admiralty Maritime Law. So he kind of talks about that. He talks about why the judges wear black, why, when you have a graduation, it's a mortarboard, and then you got to turn the tassel. It's like all these secret Masonic symbols in it. He talks about how Masonry comes from black folk. It comes from Africa. He talks about all that shit, and he breaks it down because a lot of his relatives that were really high and as judges, and when you go into a courtroom, and what does the judge sit on? The judge sits on the bench, which is Latin for bank. So when you go into court, you know you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? He breaks it down, man. And there's other books that talk about that shit too, but he just really breaks it down, and he breaks down a lot of how, you know, everybody's religious beliefs come from Africa. They just want to separate it and act like Africa wasn't, you know, they didn't come up with these beliefs. But the ancient African belief systems, that was the first thing. Even like, if you think about it, the word of God, isn't that like Metru Netur or some shit? I don't know what the fuck it is. I know it's something. I read it in the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, or one of them books I read, the Metru Netur or some shit, the word of God or some shit. You know what I mean? Then it talks about, it's another book that he wrote with Paul Tice called Old Time Religion. It breaks down a lot of shit. Then there was another book I think you should go read. I would suggest everybody read. It's called Sex, Symbols, and Stars, if I'm not mistaken, or Religion, Symbols, and Stuff like that. And it breaks down how Christians will be like, oh, we don't practice witchcraft. Do you think Africa plays a big role in black? I think Africa, and in all its entirety, that do you think that Africa plays a big role in black liberation? You know what? I think it does, but I think Africa, for the most part, they've been co-opted. That's why you don't meet people like Nipsey Hussle. See, Nipsey Hussle was Eritrean, but Nipsey Hussle was like, nah, fuck all that shit, nigga. Nigga, I'm from LA, nigga. Woo. He wouldn't separate himself like, well, I'm Eritrean. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. People didn't even really know what he was until he started saying it, until he went to Eritrea. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mom had been telling us that when we was kids. We Ethiopian. You know, and as you would see my mom, when she was like, a lot of people would be like, y'all Ethiopian or y'all something. But we wouldn't be walking around talking about, well, I'm Ethiopian. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have done a good job, to me, the Europeans, at separating Africa from the United States of America, cutting off that tie. So when they come here, they don't even want to liberate themselves in Africa. So when they come here, they're coming here to get away from that shit. You see what I'm saying? And then what happens is when they come here, they have this preconceived notion about foundational black Americans, or native blacks, as Dr. Claude Anderson calls them, foundational black Americans, as Tariq calls them, American descendants of slaves, as Tone Talks calls them, and Yvette Carnell and them call them. I take it all. I bite from everybody. Native blacks. They come here and there's an identity crisis. It's like they don't identify with us. So what we have to start doing is we have to start identifying with each other first. So before we have our African brothers and sisters come over here, we got to identify with each other, because a lot of the times they see so much dysfunction amongst us. It's easier for them to come and be like, oh, well, I'm not an Iga. Like that boxer that tried to say, oh, I'm not an Iga. I flew here. I didn't come on a boat. And then that nigga beat the fuck out of that nigga in the boxing ring. And then the nigga had shit to say. So a lot of that shit is preconceived notions. Like you have Akon. You have Akon telling us, forget slavery. We need to move past that. My question to Akon is, send this clip to him. I'll forget slavery when the white Jewish community lets us forget the Holocaust. That's when I'll forget it. I will stop, bringing up Donald Sterling when y'all stop fucking with everybody else like the baby when they say something out of turn. Again, I'm going to repeat this. Donald Sterling, oh, they cut your stream? Yeah, I know they do, man. They be cutting shit all the time. If I start speaking some facts. Like I said before, Donald Sterling called Michael Jackson a nigger and said he's not responsible for helping the black community with nothing but having AIDS. They never made him apologize. They never publicly said, hey man, we're gonna apologize or we're gonna strangle your money. Nope. They made him sell his team for $1 billion, and now he's still making money. He don't give a fuck. So I don't want to hear that shit, man. And hey man, I already know the stream is about to start tripping, man. Like I said, man, go check out those books. Go check out that You Good, I'm Back On. Okay. Go check out that the Chicago police kicking in the door. It's like some shit we done already seen 1,000 times. I think what needs to happen is now we just need to start learning how to identify with each other. We don't have to agree about everything. I don't want people to agree with me. I want people to go read the books and vet me out. I'm more happy when a person is like, oh yeah, I read that book. Like when I be like talking about medical apartheid, I be like, damn, how come people ain't read that book? Hey, my nigga, Harriet Washington was talking about how a lot of people was kind of fucking with her over that shit. Like they didn't really want her writing that book. Cause she started digging up more information and more information. Then they cut the stream again. Oh, I know. Hey man, they gonna keep cutting the stream, man. Look, we gonna reconvene on Sunday. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Shout out to Philly, stand up. Florida, stand up. Hey man, no compromise. You know I fuck with you. Tasha, everybody out there that be fucking with it. You already know what it is, man. You know they gonna cut with the shit. That's why I don't be trying to get a whole bunch of followers, man, because I know they gonna fuck with my shit. But anyway, man, hey, I'll fuck with y'all niggas. If you dealing with somebody talking about, hey man, we just all gotta learn how to get along. And it's somebody that is non-melanated, guilty nigga. Don't even listen to them niggas, man. Hey man, I'm out. Peace.